We have Goblin Bikers for you today. An interesting take on Madolche and Mikanko budget options? Okay. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. You know, I do love some goblins out here. Yeah, I know. Mind Goblin. Insert joke 10,000 here. But honestly, this deck has been pretty interesting to see the little innovation lines kind of come across. You know, with Terratop moving it too, and I know a lot of people lost their minds when Terratop moved. They're like, oh my gosh, it's the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! But honestly, I mean, like, Terratop's just been a nice little consistency enabler for a lot of these decks to be able to do. And the biggest things that this deck is trying to do is how many level, threes can we add into the equation here? I mean, Kagemusha Knight, okay. You have the Psychic Tracker, the Psychic Wielder stuff in here. And we even have Nyan Nyan in here now for some additional little value. I mean, hey, free little level 3 extension. Basically, it's just how fast can we get to Big Gabunga and then see either Grand Entrance or see the Grand Stampede. Basically, you're going to go down the sub full armor Xyz package, be able to set up into the full armored Ray Lancer next to Big Gabunga out here, and you should be good to go. I mean, realistically, the way that this deck plays, it's very simple. I feel like now, getting the turbo maximum value, especially, Nyan Nyan being an E-Telly target out here, besides, these two little bozos, you have a lot of options depending on how you actually open up. And the Grand Stampede out here, getting you the free little chance to rank on up as well. The Goblin stuff, I do think that this has been by far the best Goblin build that I have seen so far. A lot of people experimenting around out here with ratios, and I think that we're going to continue to see more of these ideas bounce around as people try out more and more different things with this to find the perfect Mind Goblin deck. Now, next up is some Madolche for you today. And this is very much what I would consider we need a little bit more to kind of get things going here. Now, that's not to say, ideas cannot be successful out here, because they definitely can. In the current format, Madolche is not exactly on the highest pedestal of the meta trying to challenge things. But what you do kind of get here is some options. Fenrir is going to be one of these cards, and as much as I know that people do not like Fenrir, realistically, Fenrir is one of the heart and souls of the deck. Also, you see that little earth element there? Well, it just happens to work out that Fenrir has this really weird reverse interaction with being able to fuel the Vernal Sif stuff out here. And that's kind of stupid to me. Also, to those of you that are annoyed with the extra deck being 14 cards, you can toss in another glass fillet if you really need to. And, you've got plenty of options available for you. Also, what's a side deck? You don't need it. I think the other thing that I find very funny about this list is you see the cross-out designators here, and you only have one imperm in here. The way that this deck is built, I feel like you have a lot of going second gas in here between trying to pressure with both of these cards. Obviously, Fenrir works on either way, but the hand trap spread tries to hit the keynotes for a majority of this format. It just leaves a little bit more to be desired because, we don't have the knowledge on the side deck. They only had a 14 card extra deck, so it gives you a little bit more room to kind of explore. So Candy Treats can really do some very interesting things out here when given them the chance, I suppose. All right, what else we got back here? So this was Budget Mikanko, and I can't even say that this is Budget Mikanko because the first thing I see here is bonfires in the main deck. Okay, so I feel like this is a classic example of how much gas can we put on into this deck out here. And this is something else I was kind of starting to notice. Flamberge Dragon, if your deck can actually support this, all right, like if you can justify all the stupid price tags that go around with everything in the bonfire category, most decks are able to support this little stupid thing. The ability for a level 8 dragon to split apart into 2 level 1s, actually giving you, you're able, yes, this deck actually can make the Pit Knights. Actually play early and the Philly. I know Philly gets like no real play time because of, you know, most people look at these 2 cards and they're like, why do I want to make these? You know, why waste my time when there are considerable other options? But this deck actually did want to get the chance to mess around with these. So you have multiple options with this deck. We're doing some link climb shenanigans. You know, the Assault build did try to do something similar that this build is doing, and unfortunately right now Assault's gone, so we have to find a supplemental way to kind of start to climb up into these sorts of things. You also do see we do have the Power Tool Braver Dragon in here. Yeah, I wonder which of our very broken equip cards that we're going to try to access out here through Mr. Power Tool and be able to punish the opponent. Also, we are citing the Kagura, and we also have the Rivalry. So if you need to go more into maybe a more standardized build for, you know, Mikanko, depends on your matchup, you know what I mean? Like sometimes certain reflection damage will be better. Alright, what else? We've covered a lot of Magic Spectre. I'm not even going to begin to tell you that we're done with this, though. I have genuinely enjoyed seeing how many people out here are challenging their metas with Mikanko and going, hey, you know, like, this deck is not dead. There are plenty of things that you're able to adapt with this, and it's actually working out. Like, that's the craziest thing. Also, the fact that you get access to this card. I do want to give a quick shout out here to Secret Village. You know, no matter what combo line you go down, no matter what stupid thing you go through, Spellcaster, Spellcaster, Spellcaster. You're gonna, well, and let's not forget Majesty Pegasus in here as well. You have so many Spellcasters at your tip that if you're able to resolve Secret Village, your opponent's probably going to go into a really terrible position. Also, if you think things are bad, you can also bring in anti-spell fragrances, which is kind of crazy because somebody's going to be like, well, you're playing pendulums. Doesn't this defeat the purpose? No. If my board is established and we're good to go, we're using this to stop the opponent from breaking our board. You know, I'm not trying to lose to these random abnormalities out here that can just steal a game from me, all right? You are using this card to protect your investment. If your scales are already set, well then good. I don't have to worry about Feather Duster. You know, if they have a Cosmic, they're going to chain it to pop the anti-spell. You know, they're not going to go after the scales at that point. You know, you've already established what you came to do, and that's fine, all right? You're going to be good to go outside of that. But yes, this is a perfect example of, you know, the Magic Spectre stuff actually coming together and actually working. And I actually think that this is some pretty good stuff to see. So good stuff to Magic Spectres. In our last list out here, we have Yubel Unchained. Now, this build is actually playing the Pirate map here, which is actually pretty good. You got to love the fact that, you know, hey, which combo piece do we need to pull out of the deck? You know, oh, okay, so to the Samsara Lotus Machine to be able to, you know, start the entire Yubel combo and then gas, go. It's really cool to see that the Loving Defender Forever has found its place into the meta out here. And especially, you know, we're seeing larger splashes of these Unchained monsters because Unchained Soul Lord Yama just drops in here so perfectly. You know, the Yubel stuff is already Fiend. You know, if you're able to toggle up to this, cool, you can set up a Soul of Rage to interact with your opponent's monster to be able to link on into something, and congratulations, you cleared a threat off of the field. You know, that's the reason why you look at this package and you go, hey, you know, like, this is a form of interruption for this. And then, of course, the rest of this deck is just beanbag your opponent with their opponent's monster. If not, you know, Mr. Big Yubel here will assist you along the way. I expect to see a lot more innovations with this deck, a lot more people exploring this. The deck only will get better once Throne comes out, and I know for a fact that a lot of players are going to be very, very excited to watch the evolution of this deck actually go through. It's going to be a crazy, crazy time out here. So what do you guys think? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and of course, it's going to be an interesting meta after all. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Peace out. Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.